My name is Jasper Mocke. I was born in Fishhoek and I still live here. One of the main sporting clubs in Fishhoek is the Fishhoek Lifesaving Club, and that's where I started to paddle. Right now the sport that I compete in is surfski paddling, which is a long thin ocean kayak, and it's made to ride ocean swells. I've been paddling since I was 13 years old. You know, the boats that we paddle, the surf skis and canoes, have changed a lot over time, and I've done a lot of river racing, flat water racing and surf ski racing, but I've been paddling, you know, a lot for 18 years. That's 18 years of full on paddling. Yeah, you know, I think for me now at this stage I'm still racing professionally, so I'm doing lots of races. I race on the Surfski World Series. So I've races all over the world, you know, and so sort of in the Southern Hemisphere summer it's more around here, and then right now I do lots of traveling to the Northern Hemisphere like America and to Europe. I'd say for me at this stage my challenge is to try and win the World Series. In 2014 I was the World Series champion, and so this year at the moment I'm lying second, and there's a couple more races left. So yeah, I'd say for training, I train about probably 2 or 3 hours a day. So you know, you don't want to paddle all the time because it gets a bit much. So I do lots of running, do some swimming, do some gym work. So I'd say I probably paddle about 5 times a week, 5-6 times a week, and then I probably have about 4 or 5 other training sessions, which will be more fun sessions, like I'll go for a run, or I'll go for a surf, or a swim or something like that. So I try and do about 10 sessions a week, of which 5 are paddling sessions. I think, you know, it came very naturally to me. I always liked the water. You know, that's how I grew up. My earliest memories are of me running around on the beach, and surfski paddling was the natural extension of that. So you know, you don't really, I wouldn't even say that I really feel anything when I go surfski paddling. It's more that I escape everything else. So when I go surfski paddling, I'm able to leave all the traffic and all the cars and people and stress, and you get onto the ocean and everything just fades away, you know, you just forget. So I guess if you had to describe that, I'd say it's a peaceful feeling. That's really what I feel. I think a lot of this has, everything to me has deeper meaning. I'm a Jesus follower, so I believe in that Jesus was on earth, and that's why I base my values and my morals on, and I try and live as closely as I can to how he lived, which is just mainly 2 things: is to love the Lord and to love people, you know. So you know, and I think we're not all perfect, we all make mistakes, but I think you know, I just try and do better next time. Other than that, I think that the things that I really love, the things that I have a passion about, I believe that that's why I'm on the earth, and that's why I just do my best at what I'm doing right now. It might not be the most glamorous thing, but I believe that that's what I'm able to do while I'm on earth, so I do the most I can. That's a funny one. You know, strengths and weaknesses are quite interesting because you're always working to strengthen your weaknesses, right? And also make your strengths stronger. So I think I've always been very good in rough water, lots of skill with waves and wind and that sort of thing, and on flat water, when there wasn't too much wind or waves, when it was more just power, because I'm a bit smaller, I felt that on flat water I used to fall behind a bit. But in saying that, you know, over the last couple of years I've been getting better and better at that. But I would say if you had to look across the whole spectrum, that's probably the area that I do fall behind the other guys a bit. It's just I followed, you know, I'm on lots of social media platforms, and so I came across some really good photos, and you know, so I saw Rayne action cameras. And that's when I thought that they would be a good product for me to team up with. I believe in the philosophy of the company, and we want to achieve the same thing, so it was a good partnership, you know. I think it's a great way for me to share what I do with the audiences that follow me and Rayne Action Cameras, because it's a relatively new sport, and people don't really get to experience or see the things that I see from the water. So it's a great way for me to bring people into my world and share that with them. I use my Rayne Action Camera as often as I can. Sometimes you're in a rush, so you just don't have time to switch it on. But I try and use it probably 2-3 times a week. If I'm just doing a training session where it's just about fitness and that sort of thing, like if I go to a lake or on flat water, then I probably won't use it. But if I'm doing something more fun, like I'm riding waves or I'm going offshore, I'm paddling like a long distance, then I'll generally take the camera with. So yeah, I'd say about 3-4 times a week. What I really like about the Rayne camera is the remote that you have on your wrist, because I'm paddling and the camera is always a bit far away from me. It's impossible for me to press stop and start, and if I only start it once, I get a massive file at the end of paddling. So the remote is great because I can just start and stop and just capture that short moment that I want to. On the open sort of, in the world, I'd say one of the most inspiring people to me is Kelly Slater, because because how he's been able to maintain his level for such a long time. Not just for the actual performance, obviously his performance as a surfer is incredible, but there are other people who surf just as well as he does. But I'd say the main thing for me at the moment that's inspiring about him is the fact that he's into his mid-40s and he's still at a world-class level, and and that's what I hope to do, is still for the next 10 years be at a really world-class level. I've got a quote that I really like, and the quote is, and I'll say it in Afrikaans, then I'll tell you what it means in English. In Afrikaans it's, "Die lewe is lekker, jy moet net 'n lekker ou wees." And what that means, you can't use the exact words, but it means life is cool, just be a cool dude.